Okay.
So with this card, I really feel like you have to really be in tune with what your that desire is. It's obviously saying, like, if you can go ahead and take the risk, try something new, you won't be in this world of a nightmare anymore. That you almost have the control and power to allow everything that's happening to you to be that opportunity to start to bring ideas into fruition.
Yeah.
It's almost like saying, like, there is many things all around you that have to do with what you want.
Yeah.
And you just are kind of stuck in this nightmare. You're not able to really recognize them. That's really the obstacle. In this case of, like, the atmosphere, it's really difficult to manifest what you want because you're unable to really wake up into this part of yourself. And this part of the personality seems very free and knows exactly where it wants to go. Your obstacle is really kind of like your own self and you kind of being too out of tune to your own desires, more or less. Yeah. That could be something. So the next card is it's that one. It's down there.
The root.
One. The root, yeah. So
the 6 of discs. I can't even tell.
The root, the unconscious mindset, whatever lies at the foundation, and the body, what's coming through the body.
Which is so crazy that it's about the body, and if you look at the card, it's her giving a massage. Like, this is a body card. Like, just visually.
So the unconscious mindset, what's coming in on a subtle wavelength inside.
Look, this is, Bella would always give me massages. This is us. Her massaging me.
The 6 of discs signifies generosity, having more than enough, sharing health and good fortune. A healing takes place. Someone gives a tender, careful touch, makes meaningful contact. Earth energy can be money or food, service or touch. It is physical and tangible. When a person gives the gift of healing, it circles back and heals the giver too. This is a lesson that translates onto other planes, a basic law of the universe. What is given freely comes back twofold. The giving here takes place on several levels. One is the physical, the pure sense of loving touch. On the next level is etheric side of the physical, where energy passes unseen to most eyes, working invisibly to heal the body and balance the soul. The caring concentration, pictured in the Mother-Peace image, demonstrates an ability to meditate successfully and bring results. To trust power and its use for good, rather than hoarding it. We pass this power from one body to another as a gift. This exchange of energy is the secret to success, which the 6 of discs traditionally represents. So yeah, it's like
as that
you
being
have
the root,
abundance
like,
in
this
the body.
like reminds me so much of Bella.
Really?
Like about her personality.
Like,
or like something that I remember like growing up with, you know, is like the like you said, the gift of touch.
Yeah.
Or like the idea of mediation, like being there for people through that, and like the idea of like through words, like softening, like it's the idea of like softening through interaction.
Yeah.
And Bella is like totally somebody who like in my life has always like been somebody like that, and like I can imagine that like is the same thing for her relationships with other people. Not that I know if that's true or not, but I imagine yes, that is true. Like the idea of like, oh, you're upset, or like something is like going on, or like I'm upset, like let us like connect in this way to like mitigate those feelings. Or you know, just like the kind of the, like you said, the base transfer of power through touch.
There's a lot of stuff here saying that here in the body, here now, in this, the things that you may not be fully aware of, this is where your abundance comes from, is that abundance of physical love, being there for someone, sharing resources, and like, and having just this like equal service in order to be happy, you know. It's not all on you. That's I think the core issue.
The reciprocation.
It's like maybe in this whole situation you're putting yourself in this very hard position to having to completely be 100% like your own provider, and in that like you kind of are losing faith that you'll ever have enough to be happy on your own
because you're giving so much.
But the trick is that you are a person that is so willing and generous to share things that like that is just feeding into something that you already have. Like you already have that. Like that's something that can serve you too, obviously, because it's all about what comes around goes around, giving and receiving. That's something that she already possesses. It's there, like, you know, So the past card, let's get on with like the Sun. This is a major arcana card, so it's the first major card that came up in this reading. Let's see.
Well, it's really reading now.
Yeah, it's nice. Okay, here we go. Should I read the short version? Actually, it's not that long.
It's not that long, but also, like, if you're practicing, like, from major arcana, because you have major arcana. Yeah. So just, like,
actually,
whatever you think. In that one,
Okay, so the Sun represents rebirth, the emergence of the butterfly out of the cocoon. It symbolizes.
Remember that Bella is a Leo Virgo cusp. So the Sun card is
what you're
probably
immediately
like,
reflecting on.
Yeah.
This is like the past, so it's what you're coming away from. And in a way, I really feel like in a lot of positions that this card shows up in, it's always like you feel like you're having to come away from something like that, and it might feel like a loss if it's like a great big old card that's like, this is where you were before, and now you're moving into this situation. So what does that mean? You're leaving something behind and moving into what this is. You know? So the Sun, it symbolizes consciousness and the active, awakened understanding of and appreciation for life. So the past is all about this appreciation for life, something that you naturally had. You were the Sun. You had this central force that was driving you. You felt energized in life, and things were going your way, or at least you were living like in this way. Or that's kind of your scope. You're reflecting upon this like backtrack of here's where I was. Anyway, I'll keep going. So out of the dark womb of night emerges, from the birth canal of the Kiva, or underground chamber, the Sun represents the soul's appearance in all its radiance. Full mental understanding bursts onto the horizon of consciousness, and one sees what is with joy and celebration. What is the illusion banished by the dawn? In the Mother Peace image, human beings no longer insist that they are separate from each other and the rest of the planetary life. The Sun represents the knowledge that we are all connected by the eternal rays of the life force, each of us part of a vast organism called humanity, and the even greater body of the earth itself. In rebirth, one feels great happiness, a joy of being alive, an expanded sense of play, less attached to desires and expectations. One enjoys a growing feeling of acceptance. The achievement of non-attachment does not imply lack of feeling or disconnection. On the contrary, it means stronger links with oneself that is the center of life, and that at the same time, the less personal sense of attachment to the little hurts and grievances on the personal daily reality. The inner sun radiates to the outer sphere and heals the fractal parts of the being, bringing together and harmonizing the various super personalities under the guidance of the soul.
Super personalities.
This is all astrological. I think of like the sun and
no,
everything.
yeah, something. Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It's what brings it all together. It's like
it's the gravitational force that creates orbiting and like when it like everything that surrounds it.
The guidance.
And
of
like
the
you
soul.
said, like the sun is always going to be at the same point.
Yeah.
No matter what, and everything else changes. Yeah. So this is like a very fixed.
It is.
Like even which is funny because it's the past.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like but even so, like that means to me like this is something that like you will always have for yourself, and it just comes from things that manifested in your past. Not that it won't continue on with you into your future or present. Like that's one idea that I would always like mistake was like, oh, because it's about the past, it means it is in the past. Like no, it just means that it like it came from the past. Like things that happened in the previous, not meaning that it doesn't continue forward.
And in this case, she in the past found a great sense of self. You know. Yeah. It's all about the self. It says, what is this self to which I have referred to several times? Most people know that they have an inner being of some kind because every now and then it speaks up in some way and offers guidance and direction. If the ego personality dominates, then the advice won't be taken. In this case of the devil described in chapter 17, the inner voice will be denied. Yet we know the voice is inescapably there. Once allowed to speak, the self introduces us to worlds we barely suspected. I'm gonna go on.
Okay.
So, when you get the sun in a reading, you can relax and enjoy yourself. It's going to be a good day, week, and year. You are probably experiencing a great deal of expansiveness and pleasure. Your sun is shining. Celebrate. In some way, you have come out of a dark and lonely, sad space and now are feeling the renewal of energy and friendship. Life seems open and offers you new directions. You feel yourself to be part of something bigger than your own individual life, and yet your individuality is freed up. The sun offers you confidence in the ability to put yourself forward in the world. A higher version of Leo, fixed fire sign. The sun lets you radiate personal power because you understand your own place in the universal scheme of things. Say what you see, express yourself. Others will listen, and you will provide a light and clear leadership. This should be a very creative period for you and people around you. Allow your ideas to grow and change. Dramatize your thoughts in some way. Let your true colors show. It may be a time to dance and sing. The bright yellow light radiating out of the sun image blesses you with positive mental energy that enlivens others and activates possibility. Because of the balancing of polarities with the self and the sun represents, it may mean different things to different people. For instance, if you are a man getting this card, you may experience a playful side of yourself opening up and the warm energy of love being expressed in new ways. Your heart may be open and you may feel the healing of the heart, of the heat of the goddess. This, no doubt, means a relaxing of the usual controls and performance anxieties and a calm sense of confidence. On the other hand, if you are a woman getting the sun card, you may be experiencing the expression of your inner masculine self in new ways. Your powerful positive animus may be emerging. It might be a time when you really express the power of your ego for the first time. So this is all in the past.
Yeah.
So,
talking about like that newly driven like ego, like you coming like out of the dark into the
she was able to find herself and really be able to express herself for the first time. And now we're almost going back into this dark situation. You know, you're kind of like losing this sense of self-consciousness. You're losing your confidence in yourself, and and the situation.
And I think that has to do a lot with like the question she's posing, where like now you're having to question yourself again. Like this was this card reminds me of what I went through. It's like the idea of freedom of youth and being away from your family and finally having like an individual identity and really like realizing that and feeling very strongly about that freedom, but realizing now through like the beginning of this question what that really means and how far this can actually go.
Yeah, totally.
Like in that, like, you just because you discover some freedom in the past doesn't mean that it continues throughout your whole life. Like, because life is so fluid and always interchanging, that what you experienced there as this son, now, you know, in the past, it doesn't necessarily work for what you're going through in your present.
Yeah, totally.
Or it's still there for you, but it won't be something that you can reference now. You know, it's like the idea of like when you go through puberty and you realize that you like, you know, or like your like existential crisis of when you're a 12-year-old or whatever, being like, who am I and what am I? And like you go through that and feel power from it, and then 4 years later you go through it again. It's like that cycle of you like growing up, basically. Like,
yeah, that's so cool. Look, this next card is the moon.
Hear it.